Okay, I'm going to go through and cover how to do a little bit of vertical alignment or setup on a page. This was prompted by a client, Brianna here, who is designing a page for a workshop that she's having. And I did the basic layout on the page, handed over and said, okay, go ahead and make all the changes you want to on the page. So she's doing that, and that's great. But when she gets it, one of the things that was a problem for her in the page that I handed over was that the video was down below the heading. It was quite a ways down below the heading, and she wanted to have that gap closed up. So she did that, and the result of what she did looked like this. And you can see where the video is uh, laying on top of and overrides the heading. So that really wasn't what she wanted, and she was having a lot of trouble figuring out, well, so why? Why is this happening? So we need to go in and take a look and try to understand why and what she did versus maybe what should be done. What's interesting about this is you'll see how it's laid out here, and we've got to override. This is overlapping here. That's on my screen. She did this on a iMac with a very large screen, and for her, it all looked great. The image and the video was right below the heading. So what is causing that problem? Let's just dive in and take a quick look. So I'm here in the BeaverBuilder back end, and if we look at this, we can see that this is an overlap. And if I click on this, this is a video module. And if we look at the advanced on this video module, you can see that the margin at the top was set to a minus 180. Now for her, that worked out good, but on my screen, that doesn't work out good. So why is that? Well, let's take a look at the web page structure in order to understand why this doesn't work and why there's a better way to do it. So let's actually take a look at this and think about this page here for a minute. On this page, what do we have laid out? Of course, right up here, we have a header sitting up there. And it looks like we have a block of content here, block of content here, and a block of content here. We also have a block of content in here, and this looks like a block of content, and also this looks like a block of content. Now, encasing these blocks of content are columns. So what we're really going to have here is we're going to have a column encasing that set of blocks, and we're going to have a column encasing this set of blocks. So what is happening then with the settings that was put in? Remember that we had put a minus 150 pix on the positioning of this video. So what does that do? Well, that takes this video here and moves this video up minus 150 pixels is what that does. Now on her screen, that's going to be fine because it positions that video right underneath the header. But it doesn't work on my screen, and here's why it doesn't work on my screen. So first let's take a look. We're going to draw her screen here. Remember, we have a heading block, we have a content column, and we have another content column over here, and we have our video right here. This video here gets moved up minus 150 pix. Now, there's one other component here that we didn't talk about that we have to realize in the structure, And that is, let me just change my pen colors here for a minute. There's actually a row container that sits right here. And if we look at that row container that starts right below the heading and contains this row container right here was set to have the content vertically aligned in the middle. Okay? So that it's going to try to center all of the content within that row and center it on the screen. Well, what that means is on her screen, it all matched up fine when she moved this up. But my screen's smaller. So what happens with my screen? My screen is going to be something like this. I'm on a tablet. So my screen's like this, which means that the row that is containing it is going to be something like this. It's set to be a full screen row. So the row is going to be something like that. And what it's going to try to do now is center the content, which is this and this, these two columns, is going to try to align that content in the middle of the screen. So what's going to happen there? Well, it's going to take these columns here and try to move them up. So instead of the columns being here and here, it's going to try to move this column. Let me go back here. Move that column up so it's now centered or aligned in the middle of that row again. And then here's our video panel. But remember, our video panel was moved up 150 pixels. So the video panel is going to move up to here. So actually what's going to appear is that the video panel will be up here because it was moved up 150 pixels relative to where it is. And so then it overlays the banner. So you got to kind of look at the structure of the page and understand what are the components of the page to figure out what's happening. Now that we know what's happening, here's a simple solution for it. So first of all, I'm going to say that very rarely should you have to go in and make these adjustments like this, like 180. Yes, there are some occasions when you do something like that, but and I'll just say for 99% of the time, leave this alone. It should be just used for minor pixel adjustments, not major positioning. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this back, and I believe we were set at 10. So we'll go back and set this to 10 over here, and you'll notice that the video is now down where it belongs. And now that we know where the issue is, it's in the row settings based upon our analysis of the structure of the page. We'll come down here. Here's the place I can get into my row settings. And if you notice my row settings under the style, the height is full height, and that's fine, full width, but my content alignment is set to, guess what, centered. So we're just simply going to change that, and we'll put it to top and save. And then we're going to say done and publish. And with that one little change, you can see that this is laid out properly now with a nice little separation, not too big, not too small. And that's going to be the case across multiple screen sizes. So that's it. Hopefully this little tutorial helped in terms of being able to position things on a page in a vertical way.